And once again, welcome to Data Science and AI course. And I think some of them are like freshers, and some of them are the MSc graduates and BTech graduates, and some of them are like working experienced persons. Okay. So when it comes to me, I'm Sandeep Kumar. So I'm having like 10 plus years of experience in the field of data science, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. So I come across different sectors like working on banking, finance, food and beverages, and telecommunication, e-commerce, and also the how I say manufacturing industry. So, and these are the sectors in the business fields I work on. And when it comes to the data, I work on the different types of data, which includes like vectorical and numerical data, and also text data for natural language processing, and image data for the image processing and facial recognition, and also video data for the video streaming, analytics, etc. And even I do work on some of stats or Excel stats. And yeah, these are something about myself. Basically, I'm from Hyderabad. So yeah, before going to have the next slide, so everyone have some perspective that, for example, when we are going to select any course, there is a data science or the data analyst or what it may be. So you'll be doing a pre-study, means you'll be having a pre-analysis like what is data science, something like that. So could you please explain in your scenario what is data science and where we'll be using the data science exactly? Anyone?
Data
Anyone could?
is using in scientific methods and techniques.
Data is used in scientific methods and techniques. Okay, from that, what we'll be doing?
We're collecting the data and analyzing the data.
Yeah, exactly. It is not an exact answer, it is half answer. So it's fine. And one more thing, team. So before going to tell, so if you have any doubts and if you have any concerns, please raise up your voice. Okay. So obviously we are stepping into a new career path or new domain or whatever it may be. So we are trying to enhancing our skills. We are trying to improving our skills. So when we are trying to improve our skills, we need to raise up our voice. We need to raise our voice when you are having the doubts. Okay. And make sure that if you are having any doubts or something, if not me, so try to communicate with your colleagues, with your friends, so that indirectly we are trying to helping ourselves, and indirectly we are trying to learn the course, something like that. Okay. So I want attention from all you guys. Please tell me in your opinion what is data science exactly, one by one, if you don't mind. And Vaishnavi, thank you for that. And rest of the guys,
Thank you, sir.
please.
Hello.
Yeah, Surya, please go on.
Yeah, data science is the study of data that helps us derive meaningful insights from the data from the data for business decision making.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good to have Surya.
Data
It's
science is
meaningful.
a field that uses scientific methods, processes, algorithms, and systems to extract knowledge and insights from data.
Very good, Vaishnavi. Yeah, sorry, Jyotika, thank you. And anyone? Yeah, okay, fine. So in simple scenario, of course, like Jyotika told and Vaishnavi and Surya. So in simple scenario, before going into the meaning of the data science, so we'll tell you in the layman perspective. In the layman perspective means like anyone can understand simple scenario. So, for example, if you hear the term called the Panchangam, Of course, maybe you may or not, but there we have called horoscope. Horoscope means prediction, like giving the prediction of yourself. For example, if you went to any uh, if you want to know about your future prediction, something like when we'll be getting the job and when we'll be getting the married, and so what would be your future. If you want to know this type of scenarios, you will be going to a person, and the person will be checking your hand, means he'll be checking your palm, okay, and seeing the signals and whatever it may be, and he will be letting you know that so your future will be good and your future will be good in so and so scenarios and etc etc. Yeah, and you'll be getting a uh, job in so and so situation. So this is like a giving a prediction, giving a future prediction in a simple scenario. So on what basis he was giving the future prediction? So he is having a data. Okay, he is having a sort of data called panchangam or whatever it may be. From the analysis from the panchangam or data, so he is coming with the insights, and and he is using insights on the respective persons in such a way that he will be giving a horoscopic predictions. It is nothing but a giving a futuristic predictions. So in simple scenario, as a technical guy, so as a person having the knowledge on data science and AI, so here we are also dealing with the same situation, but the background is completely different. So what we are doing, so if you take any business term like HDFC Bank, okay, HDFC Bank is having a use case saying that, for example, if any person comes into the bank, so the person means the bank employee want to know whether he is eligible for the loan or not. Okay, it is nothing but future prediction. The person is eligible for loan or not. So by seeing the various perspectives, by seeing the various futures, he will be coming with a situation that so he is eligible for the loan. On what basis he is saying that? Based upon the historical data, okay, based upon the patterns and trends, he'll be coming into saying that the person is eligible for the loan. In a simple scenario, data science is the study of the data. Simply, from the term itself, we can say that data science is nothing but the study of the data. So by studying the data, what will be coming? So we'll be extracting the insights, we'll be extracting the meaningful insights from the data and using this meaningful insights for the business use case, so that the business will improve, the business will get the profits. So in order to do this complete process, we are doing a sort of using mathematics, stats, and some of the ML algorithms and artificial intelligence, and we'll be using the computer uh, engineering for writing a programming and etc etc. So this is a simple, meaningful, and of what is data science exactly. I think you guys are clear if I'm correct. Could you please confirm yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, and we'll give you a simple scenario. So, just now I told you that data science is nothing but a trying to, of course, what is say, study of the data, and from extracting the meaningful insights from the data, and we'll be using meaningful insights for the business use case, so that the business can understand the trends and the business can understand the insights, and we'll be using these insights for this business profit or whatever it may be to for this business use case to make the profit or whatever it may be. So in a simple scenario, I'll give one more example. So let's take uh, a small company. Let's take a Switch itself, Swizz Technologies. Where in the Swizz Technologies, we have it is one of the company. So there we have the employees like employee A, B, C. Okay, and their employee A is having a experience of 1 year, and B is having a experience of 2 years, and C is having a experience of 3 years. Okay, for 1 year of experience guy, he will be getting a what you say income of 1 lakh, just say per month, per year, and for 2 years, let's take a 10 lakhs per annum for 1 year, and 20 lakhs per annum for 2 years experience, and 30 lakhs per annum for 3 years experience. Okay, this is a simple example, and there is one more person comes with the 4 years of experience. And what would be his expected CTC? Anyone, could you please say that? What would be his annual income at that time? For 1 year, 10 lakhs. For 2 years, 20 lakhs. For 3 years, 30 lakhs. If 4 year of
40 lakhs.
experience, 40 lakhs. How we are saying? Yeah, exactly
Yes,
same.
yes.
You're correct.
Experience, no, sir. 4 years experience. So
Exactly. 4 years of experience person, he is getting a LPA of 40 LPA. That is very good answer. And what basis you are saying that he'll be getting a 40 LPA? Yeah, in general. So here we are using the statistics. Whereas in statistics, we are having some centroids, mean, median, mode. So based upon that, you'll be saying that. So for 4 years of experience, on the background stats and the stats of the data, you can say that he'll be getting a 40 LPA. And one more thing, So if you observe carefully, if you plot a scatter plot, between the experience as well as the LPA, okay, i- if you plot a scatter plot between the experience versus LPA, you will be getting a linear line. If you observe carefully, you will be getting a linear line. So there we can say that linear line is a pattern or the trend, saying that 4 years, 40 lakhs, 5 years, 50 lakhs. So from the trend or from the pattern, we can say that, or else we can predict the future. So that is what we are doing in the data science. So as here we are having only two columns. One is the experience, and one more is salary, expected salary, or salary. We can say that for 4 years you'll be getting 40 LPA, and 5 years you'll be getting 50 LPA. Manually we can do this. For example, if you are having 100 columns, for example, if you are getting 100 columns, similarly, if you are having the 100 futures or the 100 columns, can a human can do that?
no.
Maybe human can do, but he will be taking so much and so much amount of time. He needs so much of months of time. Very first one. And also, if he do any mistake, there may be a chance that a manual errors. If any manual error, then again he need to go to recall. Means from the beginning onwards, he need to do the same work. It's completely like taking a huge amount of time on the large amount of data. So that is the reason this data science comes into the picture, and that is where we are replacing the humans with the data science and AI. A simple scenario. And by using this data science and AI, we are trying to reduce the time from large extent to the very tiny amount of time. And also, we are trying to get the accurate results from the machine. So there is no manual error, there is no nothing. So, and we here by using data science and AI, and if we are coming with the meaningful insights, and those meaningful insights would be taking very less amount of time. Very first one. Second one would be uh, there would be no manual errors, and the results must be very accurate. So that is the reason we are using data science and AI. Yeah. So of course, everyone will be having. Of course, I want to ask why data science. Why we need? Of course, I told you that two reasons. Why we need to have the data science. Very first one, that as we are working on the large amount of data, and we'll be getting the more accurate results, and we are reducing the time. Other than this, anyone could you please say why data science other than this three? Please give your rough answers. You don't need to be an expert. Just give you some rough answers.
We don't need any manual work or any man work.
Yeah, it's fine. That is one. And any? Yeah, we'll let you know. So when it comes to the why we to have data science and AI, in simple terms, just now I told you that. So if we are having a small amount of data, okay, if you are having a very small amount of data, okay, fine, a human can do that work simply. As I told you the example of salary versus experience. Okay, if there are any two columns or three columns, okay, based upon the small data, a human can do that. But if you are having a large amount of data, like 1,000 columns and 1 million of data, at the time human can't. And one more thing, if you observe carefully in a recent days, in a latest days, so we are using like LinkedIn for the professional use case and Instagram for the activities and Facebook for the uh, what you say for the some social media. Of course, we are using social media in a very wide range. Heavily, we are using the social media. So at the like in the social media includes like Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube, whatever it may be. So there is millions of data daily we are getting millions of trillions of data we are getting daily. So if we use the data, or if you use the data in a proper way, we can do miracles, something like that. Okay. In simple scenario, we'll be telling an example of Instagram. Okay, if you use the Instagram data in a proper way, so you can get to know that so this person, like A person is linked with the B person and B person is linked with the C person, and finally you'll be getting to know that ABC are in a same community, something like that. Okay, if we are having a huge amount of data, we can do miracles and we can do different type of things, and we can come up with the very good insights from the data. And we can, if we use this insights for the any business use case or something like that, we can get the profits. And that is how this that is where we are using data science and AI in the YouTube, in the e-commerce business like Amazon. Even in the banking field we are using, like whether the person is eligible for the loan or not. His credit card is the credit card predictions, spam predictions, and what you say exactly. We too have something like remittance predictions. We are having so much thing to do if you are having a very good amount of data. So that is what we are doing by using data science. So we'll be extracting the meaningful insights from the data. So so that is what why we are using data science. Uh, if you have the data in the large amount of data. And one more thing, just I want to highlight you, to be say frankly, when it comes to demand, data scientists are very high in demand nowadays. Data scientists, ML engineers, AI engineers, so they are very high in demand. So why? Because we are having the millions of data. Obviously, so the companies also want the data scientists to work on them those amount of data. In that scenario, obviously they are very high in demand. To be say frankly, if you of course will come in the next slide. So the prediction of the data science means the uh, how demand the data scientist or something like that. So one more thing I want to once again I want to highlight, data scientists are very high in demand. So if you are very skilled data scientist, so you can survive anywhere in simple scenario. And moreover, growth. So when it comes to growth, if you want to about the what to say earning, how much amount of earning, and for the data scientists, uh, they are earning very good amount of package when compared to the different domains. So that is the one thing. And job security, as you know that, so we are having so much to do, and obviously we'll be having very good job security. And one more thing I'll be going to have announced, I'll be going to say that, so in future this data science and AI will be going to occupy some of the domains, which includes like uh, DevOps, testing. Just I want, we'll be going to like this data, the use of data science and AI will be going to uh, replace some of the functions. That is one thing we'll be going to have in future. So most of the companies and most of the product-based companies and most of the consulting means like TCS and Infosys, they're trying to implement their own AI in their premises. Just think in the perspective. Every company want to implement AI. Every company want to implement AI in any project. So they want to leverage this current technology with the AI technology. That is what is happening. If that is the scenario, obviously we'll be going to have good number of opportunities. And one more thing, flexibility. There are some of the scenarios like if you learn the SAP course. So I know that, so the SAP will be mostly using in the banking and finance sectors, but there is some constraints for that. But when it comes to data science and AI, so we are in everywhere. We are everywhere. Like the data scientists are everywhere in the sense like they are in the healthcare sector, financial sector, manufacturing sector, like Tata Steel and also Maruti Suzuki, and also what you say, uh, uh, recently the LIC and NPCL, a National Pension Health Scheme. To be said, you know one thing. So the nowadays the central government jobs, we have the central government jobs also, and just now the LIC which comes under the central government, of course the private, and NPCL which is government, and also there are some other ISRO. They are using the AI. So just I want to give you a small example of ISRO. If you remember why Chandrayaan 2 has failed, and why Chandrayaan 3 has success. Could anyone please? Whether in 2023 or 2022, Chandrayaan 2 or failed. Whether in 24, I think so, Chandrayaan 3 was successful. So why in 2 it was failed, why in 3 it was successful? Could anyone please have an answer? Yeah, a simple scenario. Like in generally, ISRO will be sending the lander and rover and something to the moon space. That is actually the goal of the ISRO. So ISRO want to send the lander and rover to the uh, moon surface, moons. But whereas Chandrayaan 2, what is happened exactly? So the lander was not positioned exactly in the moon space. Because of that reason, the lander has been failed to land exactly on the moon surface. So that is what happened in the Chandrayaan 2. That is how it was failed. Of course, rover was there, but rover was doing his activity. Uh, but when it comes to the Chandrayaan 3, so the scientist has implemented the artificial intelligence in the lander. Like there are the some of the footers would be there now. In the footers, the scientist has kept the some of the artificial intelligence AI needed tools, what it may be. So based upon the AI tool, what it will be doing that whether the for the landing the moon on the specific position, so the plane and everything is flat or not, the landing position is good or not. It is checking, the AI is checking everything. The surface of the moon surface is flat or not, moon surface is good for landing or not. And if everything it was uh, finalized, like everything was good. Then the lander was land successful in the moon surface, and finally, so everything went successful, and the mission was successful, and we are the third most country to land on the south pole of moon surface. We are the third country, I think so. So that is how the Chandrayaan 3 mission was successful. Here, just I want to say that so we are using AI in very uh, frequently. We are using in a domestic way in simple scenario, and also we are in logistics and retail industry, and also the e-commerce. So these are something like why we need to have uh, data science and AI in the present communication. So before going to the next slide, I want to ask you, of course, obviously you will be doing a pre-analysis. So where in the pre-analysis, one thing tell me that, so you'll be getting to know that from your colleagues or from your friends, what it may be. So what would be the expected or the salary for the freshers? Anyone have any idea?
Maybe 20 or 40, like approx.
For freshers,
Like 20 to 40.
20 to 40. So yeah, good to hear. So when comes to the uh, uh, CTC part, before going to that, so these are some of the this slide has taken in June 2024, and so this is how the trend was going on, and maybe 23 I think so I have taken this. This is the trend that is going on, and this is how we are using, means the opportunities in the field of data science. And just to mention that one of my colleagues previously, he was trying to shift, he was trying to move from one organization to other organization, and he was into a field of, I don't want to reveal the field, but he'll be getting a calls of 2 to 5 calls in a month, but with the same position, the same experience, the try with the person with the experience of data science and AI, when he was searching for the same job opportunities, and he was getting a calls of something like is 10 times more than that. That is just I want to give in a real time example. That is how we have the opportunities in the outside. And when I'm trying to say about the average salary of the data scientist, so average salary of the data scientist, so it is like updated on June 2024, and this is how I have taken from the Stack Overflow. And thing for freshers, this is for the freshers, and for the freshers, before going to this CDC, and like in the years of 2015, something like that. So at the time, data science is only for the career growth, and only the professionals will be going to do this data science course for their career growth, to improve or to increase their CTC, something like that. But nowadays, everyone is doing that. Data science is like what is happened exactly means. Uh, yeah, we'll come with the next slide. Not, but the average salary for the data scientist is something like 20 LPA, and it is on 1st June 2024 updated one. So, and of course, when you are seeing that 20 LPA, so you need to have the same expertise and you need to have the same skills. Then only you'll be getting this type of salary. Just I want to mention that, highlight that. And one more thing that what and before going to like before you are learning something, any course, okay, before you are learning, something, any course, you are having some predefined things. Like if you are taking BTech and if you are from CSC background, like something like that, whatever maybe. So you are having some plans. Like if you are trying to read a new topic, what are the approaches will you face and what are the approaches will you implement? Could you please anyone? Like you are taking a data science course and you are having some plan how to learn the data science. So what are the approaches you will implement? Could anyone please? What are the approaches will you implement if you are trying to learn any new course?
Firstly, we will see about what is the base part of the course and how it is going through future and what is the total like what we can say. We can predict that course in future how it is going through and how it is demand in
Yeah.
future.
Yeah. How will you learn in course, a new course? Yeah, I will show you. So when it comes to a data science course, for example, if you are trying to read any new topic, okay, and especially when you are going, because obviously we are in the data science course, but when you are trying to learn any new course or new topic in the data science, like we need to have some of the things we need to implement those things. One is the hard work, and data, as everyone knows that data science is the ocean. Okay, so there is so much things need to be worked, and there are so much things to be learned. So in order to have that, we need to be very hard work. Okay, obviously anyone need to be hard work. Even this is just a practical, this is a general one, not related, not specific to data science. Even if you are into a job also, there also you'll be doing a sort of hard work for in order to complete the certain task or whatever it may be. The same thing we are doing here. We need to do the same hard work to learn something new in a clever manner. Okay, that is the one thing. And the fixed hours, just just have some fixed hours, saying that let's take our course is like we'll be saying a course from 9 to 10 o'clock. Just make a fixed hour saying that 9 to 10 is the course hours and the 10 to 11 is the my learning time, my revision time, something that. And the third one, the revision notes. So in real time scenarios, while I was in a working time also, if anyone says something to me, in generally I used to have pen and paper and pen and notes, and I'll be uh, completely writing the notes. And in the end of the day, so I'll be going to further revision. So what is happened in the complete day, all the day, what is happening, something like that, so that you'll be remembering everything. And the patience wherein the so why we need to have the patience, simply why, because here you are dealing with the large amount of data. So when you are dealing with the large amount of data, and in order to extract a meaningful insights from the large amount of data, you need to do so much analysis. In order to do the so much analysis, you need to have some patience. Why? Because if you are in a hurry mode, and if you want to come up with the insights, of course you can come up with the insights, but it won't give good results. Okay, so you need to have very patience and need to have very in a clever way, so that you can have very good uh, what do you say, insights from the data. You can get very good insights from the data in generally. So I used to follow some of the techniques like Feynman technique. So in the does anyone know this technique? Could you please raise your hand if anyone knows this technique? To be say frankly, everyone we follow this technique, but simply they are named this technique. as Feman. For example, let's take in the data science, we are having a course called correlation. Okay, and of course, this is very new topic to me. So what happened? So after having the class, so we'll go for the correlation. What exactly? And so we'll be picking a new topic, and once I was good with the topic, I'll be trying to explain the same topic to the layman, or else I'll be trying to explain the same man to the person who don't know or who was unfamiliar with the topic. Okay, and I'll be explaining this topic to the child or whoever may be. And if you are able to understand the topic, then you are very good in the topic. Or else, if he was identifying any gaps while you are explaining to him, okay, so while understanding, if you are facing any lags, something like that, any gaps, then you may think that you are not that much familiar with the topic or that much good with the topic. So that again you are going with the topic and reading and doing the same sort of thing. It is a completely circular process. And until you are good with the topic, you will be doing or you will be following this topic. This is called a payment topic. It is the circulation in the circle form. I think you understand what it is exactly, payment technique.
So,
And one more thing, space interval of learning. Like generally, eh, we'll tell you an example simply. So when I was learning, when I was doing a BTech, so what happened exactly? We will be having the some semesters. We'll be having the some of the examples. Like every 1 month or 2 months, we will be having the examples. So exams, something like that. So like my lectures has to be taught saying that first day, second day, third day, fourth day, fifth day. But what we used to do exactly, so we'll be learning all the topics in a single day, the final day of the exam. What happens if you learn all in a single day? So on the exam day, we won't be writing 100%. We won't be performing 100% results. So that is how we used to read in my BTech days. But it is not a correct approach. So if you want to be in a exponential manner, and if you want to be in a everyday growing manner, so you need to follow some of the things like space interrupt technique. Like, so where in the day one it is the correlation, and the very next hours you are learning the correlation course. The second day I'll be learning the covariance, and the same 6 day next hours you'll be learning the covariance. In the third day I'll be teaching about the linear regression, and the same day you'll be reading the linear regression. This is how generally everyone used to learn. But the fact is that if you go on reading like that, there may be a chance that on the 10th day you may forget the very first day class. Okay, this type of things will be happening. In order to not to happen this type of things, you need to follow the passive interval learning. Like first day, for example, let's take it, in the second day you need to also revise the first day class. The third day, you need to have to revise the first day and second day class. In the fourth day, you need to revise the first day, second day, third day, and fourth day class. So if you go on reading like that, so you'll be very thorough with the topic. Of course, it may take some time, but at the end of the day, you'll be thorough on the subject. And this is in such a way that we need to increase our the recall. Okay, recall percentage, something like that. This is how generally we used to learn the data science course. Okay, here just I want to explain that how we need to learn the data science, and what are the things that we need to plan, and who can learn data science. These are something I want to tell you. And one more thing, and just I want to ask you, the Surya and uh, uh, Vaishnavi and Jyotika, who can learn data science? Anyone, could you please? Who can learn data science? Are there any specific rules that so and so person only need to read the data science like that? Who can learn the data science?
Based on the background, anyone can learn data science.
Exactly. So when it comes to the data science, as you told that anyone can learn the data science, even it is a BTech graduates or the person with the degree knowledge and doing some BSc statistics and MSc statistics. And one thing I want to highlight that the person with the statistics knowledge is very good for taking the data science, and the graduates can take the data science, and the working professionals can take the data science, and also everyone can take the data science. One of my friend, so he is doing a lecture, and he was working as a lecturer in the in the college called TKR. Okay, and he did his uh, of course he did, irrespective of his past, so he has taken the data science course, and he did succeeded in the field of data science career in the IT field. And one of my friend, he is completely different. To be frankly, is like into the field of real estate, something like that. Okay, and you may think that how can he learn? Okay, it's simple. It's like data science means how we are dealing with the data is main important. If you are good in dealing with the data, if you are good in uh, dealing means if you are good in getting in good insights from the data, that's fine to take the data science course. Simple. So irrespective of the domain and irrespective of the field, anyone can learn the data science who are very interested and who are very interested persons. Yeah, and just to have that, so these are some of the techniques. So these are some of the topics that will be going to be covered in our course duration. And so in general, in generally, I want to ask one thing that, so is the Python is old language or the Java is a very old language? Could you please confirm? Python is a old language or the Java is very old language? Which one is?
Python,
Python,
sir.
sir.
So, but Python is very old. But why most of the people, of course, when you are having some knowledge of what it may be, so we frequently used to listen a word called Java, 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 Java. Why not Python? Why we are listening Python in the latest days, recent days? It's simple.
Once,
Why? Because yeah, please go on. Please go on.
once more repeat the question, sir.
So actually, in previous days, like 5 years back, something like that. At the time, not 5 years, some 10 years back, 15 years back. At the time, we frequently used to listen the word Java, Java. IT means Java. We used to have something like that. At the time, Python was not that much familiar. But why now Python was very much familiar?
Now, Python is very easy to learn, sir.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Python is very easy to learn. That is one thing. And one more thing that, so we let you know. So exactly the reason. Now the team, now the scientists or the technicians are come up with the different modules in Python. They introduce the different modules, libraries, and etc. in the Python language. So these Python modules and libraries, which will cover the most of the data science related things. That is the reason nowadays the Python is using very frequently. And one more thing, the Python, from my knowledge, the Python is very developer friendly, and it is quite simple, and it is easy to understand, something like that. Okay, it is very interpretable one. So Python is very uh, is not a heavy script. It is a simple script. anyone can understand anyone can learn in simple days. So, okay. And moreover, why Python was very familiar in these days means, so we are using Python in data science for solving the data science problem statements. That is the reason. And you may have a doubt why it was not that much familiar in the olden days. In the olden days, Python having some of the limitations, and moreover, at the time Python don't have any specific libraries and etc. But in the recent days, we are having the what to say good number of modules that can be used in the field of data science. Similarly, R is also one of the programming language. So it is mostly R will be using for the statistics purpose and etc. And the SQL. So why we need to why we are covering the SQL means like when we are dealing with the large amount of data, like I'm having a data of some 400 GB. Just assume. So if where I can keep the 4 GB data, it is not possible to have in our local machine. Okay. So for that reason, we are having this all data in the SQL server or else in the cloud server or something like that. So for that reason, so you need to have some knowledge on the SQL. The statistics. Just now I told you now. So in order to learn the data trends, in order to learn the data related stuff, we need to obviously have some knowledge on the statistics, like what is the correlation means, what is the relationship between the A column to B column, what is the relationship between the B to C column, something like that. So then only you can do some analysis or what it may be. Okay, so that we can do it from the statistics and linear algebra. So by linear algebra means, let's take a two. If you want to plot any scatter plot between the two columns, and you want to know in a if there are some of the scenarios you may find linear curve, polynomial curve, something. So uh, this linear curve line is also one of the pattern in the data that will be going to be taught in future. And we'll be good I'll be in simple, so I'll be not going to be have a complete or the deep into statistics and linear algebra. I don't want to waste the time in statistics and algebra, so we'll be going to have the basics for that. Okay. And when it comes to data analysis, by data analysis means, in order to have the, of course, the team, like the team have gave us some data to you. In order to understand the data, in order to come up with the meaningful insights from the data, you need to have some exploratory data analysis. You need to explore the data. Okay. After exploring the data, you'll be getting to know that how the data was exactly. For that, you'll be doing the EDA, wherein the EDA will be covering univariate, bivariate, or multivariate analysis. And finally, machine learning. So by using the machine learning, what you say, algorithms only, we'll be training on our data and we'll be coming up with the uh, model, and that model will be going to use for the prediction or something what it may be. And deep learning, deep learning is the course which is enhancement of the machine learning, but deep learning is completely different. So we'll be going to have in the next slide. And computer vision. So when you are working on the image data, at the time we'll be using computer vision. Natural language processing, similarly when we are working on the test data and in the simple human readable language or simple human understandable language, at the time we'll be using natural language processing and chartboard. And also we'll be trying to cover the interview questions, and we'll be trying to cover the some of the for some of the models, we'll be trying to have the projects, like we'll be working on the projects, and we'll be going to have the mock interviews, and also we'll be going to have the real-time projects in the finally. So this is how we'll be covering the complete course. Yeah, these are something. And also the team is offering the internship and etc. And if anyone want the live projects also will be providing. So you can approach the team for all this. And generally the roadmap to data science, the very first step that we need to have some basic programming language. And this programming language will be using for for analyzing the data and extracting the data and do a wrangling and data manipulation and etc. And EDA, expert data analysis and storytelling. And we'll be using some of the stats and ML algorithms to build a algorithm, something like this. Is a simple roadmap to data science. So just I want to ask you one more question. So what is a machine learning? Because you guys have some doubt. What is data science? What is machine learning? What is artificial intelligence? What is deep learning? We'll let you know that in further. So next class. But in generally, from your point of view, what is a machine learning? Any idea what is a machine learning? Yeah, when it comes to the machine learning, I think anyone are talking or something. Vaishnavi, are you talking? You are on mute.
No, sir.
Okay, fine, not an issue. And when it comes to the machine learning, so I'll be giving a small example. Let's take a kid, a small kid is having a the age of the kid was something like 8 months, in between 6 to 8 months. Okay, so for the kid, and if you are giving a orange color ball and orange color fruit, okay, so in generally what the kid will think by seeing the orange color food and sorry orange color ball and orange color fruit, most of that most of them are experience this type of thing. If you give a orange color ball and orange color fruit to a small kid age of something like 8 months, and what he generally used to think, the the small kid is usual to think that the orange color fruit and the orange color ball, the both are same. Then how can he differentiate or how can he classify they both are different? How means by having the kid after having the touching the ball or the after touching the fruit, after smelling it, after sensing it, after multiple iterations only, he can classify that this is the orange color ball and this is the orange color fruit. This is how the child will do. So here he'll be doing a sort of what to say uh, approaches like sensing the ball, touching the ball, smelling the ball, and uh, after doing a multiple iterations of testing and trial, then only the boy can do anything. Then only the boy can classify the orange color fruit and orange color ball. This is how the boy is uh, predicting something. Okay. In similarly, machine learning is also like a small baby. Okay, so what I'm starting to machine, let's take what I'm doing to machine. I will be learning, I will be teaching a pattern. For example, I gave you a small example of salary and experience. For 1 year person 10 LPA, for 2 years person 20 LPA, for 3 year person 30 LPA. In such a way that I'll be giving this type of data to my machine. I'll be I'll be learning a particular pattern to my machine, and after learning the pattern, okay, after learning the pattern, the machine will say that if you give something like 40, it will give you the expected or the CTC would be 40 LPA. in such a way that I'll be teaching a pattern to the machine. That is the reason we are getting machine learning. I'm learning a pattern to a machine, and the machine learning learns the pattern, and it will provide a model. By using that model, we are trying to get the futuristic predictions. This is how we are using the machine. This is how we are doing a machine learning. This is what machine learning exactly. So in order to do this machine learning, obviously we need to have some of the machine learning algorithms to train our machine or to train on our data. Okay, so some of the applications of the machine learning is like self-driving car and online recommendations, like which TV to buy, and credit card prediction and loan prediction, is eligible for the loan or not, and spam prediction, is the mail is spam or what exactly. And there are so many applications are there. So irrespective of the domain, it's banking or finance, or if you take a LIC, so in LIC also they are implementing the data science. So saying that is uh, is the person is, for example, is the premium for the respective customer is fine or not, do we need to take the high premium or not, is there risky or not, something like that. So knowing what customers are saying about the product, like taking the feedback from the customers and implementing based upon the feedback, how we are uh, getting the profits, how can we improve the profits of the business, something like that, and fraud detection. So these are some of the applications of the machine learning. And where in machine learning, so we are having the excuse me. So where in machine learning, so we are having some of the categories like supervisory, unsupervisory, and reinforcement learning. And of course, when it comes to supervisory learning, so we'll be using it for the futuristic predictions. Does anyone goes to these categories in machine learning? Any idea on the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, something like that?
Label data for supervised learning.
Srijit. Yeah. So these are the top.
Unsupervised,
Yeah, please go on.
unsupervised, unlabeled data.
Yeah, it's good point. So supervised.
Reinforcement means that we giving input, we can get the output.
Yeah. So in our scenario, in our classes, upcoming classes, we'll be going to thought the supervisory, unsupervisory, and reinforcement learning is completely different. And yeah, that reinforcement learning will be using in the game AI. And before that, so Sujit, as you said, the supervisor learning, one point is the labeled data, and unsupervised learning is unlabeled data. This is one point. And so why supervisor is labeled data, why unsupervised unlabeled data? Yeah, we'll let you know that. So I will be not going to be in deep right now. So there are lot more to discuss before going to supervisor learning and unsupervised learning. But in simple scenario, uh, supervised learning will be is a we'll be using supervised learning on the futuristic data in simple manner. Let's take thinking about the any futuristic predictions, like just now I told you now, uh, loan prediction, is eligible for the loan or not. So is it dog or something like that. Stock market prediction, something like that. If you are working in the futuristic predictions, we'll be using the supervisor learning. So wherein the supervisor learning, we'll be having the regression and classification, and regression technique we'll be using for the continuous data, which is unlabeled, which is labeled data. So we'll be letting to know in the future classes. In generally, regression we'll be using for the weather forecasting, market forecasting, stock market prediction, and something population growth prediction. For that reason, we'll be using regression. And when it comes to classification, So we'll be using classification for the classifying the data, like eligible for the loan or not, eligible for the what you say, uh, credit card or not, yes or no. Is the ball is a blue or black color? The image classification is a dog or cat. If if this type of problem statement, we'll be using the classification. And when it comes to unsupervised learning, so unsupervised learning is a as Rujit told, it is a unlabeled data, means we don't have the label data for that. But whereas unsupervised learning, we'll be using on the existing data itself. Let's take we are having some existing data. So in order to do a clusters like let's say you are having e-commerce business, and where the business use case is that if any new product comes into the market, so the persons who are very willing to buy the product are medium are in a dilemma to buy the product, not willing to buy the product. If I want to do the groups on the existing data, that is called clustering. And this is a small scenario, this is a small example of ML categories, and this will be going to be having for future future classes. So I don't want to go in depth. When it comes to the machine learning process, so in the very phase one, so just I want to highlight you. So we are having that, don't be afraid or don't be scary. So this is just a small demo, and just I will be going to taught to in simple way. And where in futuristic classes, you'll be going to know each and everything. Okay. So as I told you that completely we are working on the data. We are having a training data, and we did a some sort of pre-processing on the training data. Of course, as initially we'll be having the raw data. So we'll be converting a raw data to cleansed data by having a sort of pre-processing. And once we are having the cleansed data or the clean data, we are applying some of our machine learning models. And in order to know the whether the model is performing well or not, we are doing a error analysis. And finally, we'll be coming with the a very good model, and we'll be using the we'll be using the model on the new data or the unseen data, what it may be. And over the unseen data or the futuristic data, we'll be getting the prediction, and finally we'll be getting the predicted data, and this predicted data will be using for the business use case, something like that. This is a simple machine learning process. And if you do a simple project, and if you do a single project, you'll be completely aware with this process and everything. You no need to be worried. And I'm there to take care of everything. Yes. So I don't want to be go much deep about the supervisory learning and unsupervised learning as of now. So we are having a very good material, whereas in the material I'll be going to provide you everything. Yeah. And Surujit, in a similar way, could you please tell me what is deep learning exactly? In simple scenario, I'll be telling you what is a deep learning. So deep learning is like how I treat machine learning is a baby. Deep learning is also like it mimics like a human brain. Like if anyone pinch you, okay, if anyone pinch you, so your first of all your nerves will respond. Sorry, first of all your nerves will respond, and your nerves will be going to your head. Okay, where in the head there will be some uh, what is the connections. So it will be going to your mind and your human brain, and from the human brains you'll be getting some of the pulse, and in such a way that you are raising the hand or you'll be doing a sort of activity. So in such a the same scenario we'll be applying in the deep learning also, wherein the deep learning will be having the neurons, neural networks, hidden layers, and there are some of the gradient descent type of thing, and in such a way that so deep learning will be giving the predictions. So deep learning is a quite different thing. So here we are using the some of the artificial neural networks, convolutional neural networks, and recursive neural networks. And like if you are dealing with the image data, video data, and in order to get the very good results, at the time we'll be going with the deep learning. and we'll be going to cover all these techniques. You don't need to be very, so you know to be worry. And the natural language processing. So in generally, if you go to any restaurant, okay, there you'll be getting a of course, if you go to any restaurant after having the food, the waiter will come and he will be taking a feedback from you. In generally, that is what happening. Okay, so based upon the feedback from yours, the hotel management will think the is the feedback. Uh, is there anything that we need to change or something like that? Is there anything that we need to improve, something like that? So based upon that analysis, so they are trying to improve their profits, or they are trying to make their make everything would be safe. Okay, but if you are having some blacks of feedback and going into each and every feedback which is given by human, and it is not possible all the time. So for that reason, so we are having the natural language processing. So where are in the natural language processing, so of course it is also one of the field of artificial intelligence. And where in the natural language processing we are learning to a machine. So we are learning to a machine how to enable the human readable language. Okay, from the human readable language, how can we get the results? Okay, this is how natural language processing is simply. And from natural language processing, we'll be doing a sort of feedback analysis and reviews, review prediction, and feedback, test generation. If you see the if you see the nowadays, the HRs are using the natural language processing NLP techniques. So the HRs will be getting log per day. They will be getting some thousands of resumes. Okay, no HR will be going in deep into the resume and will be reading the resume. Simply he will be processing all the resumes into the AI tool, whereas in AI tool the backend will be natural language processing. So based upon the natural language processing, uh, it says to the HR saying that this so and so resume is related to data science, and this resume is not related to data science. Don't process this resume for further. This type of predictions will be giving by using NLP. This is one of the general use case. So I know that the time is getting like, so I'll be going quite fast. And the image processing and the computer vision. When it comes to human vision system, like in generally, so if you are having, you can see from the figure or from the slide, you can see that you are having a bowl with an groceries, apple, a mango, something like that. In generally, we used to use this from our eye, and from our eye to it will go to the brain, and the brain will give the results, or the brain will give the interpretation saying that there we are having the bowl with bananas, lemons, and peaches, and etc. In similarly, by using or by in similarly, uh, how we are dealing with the ML means. So by having some of the sensory devices, we are viewing, we are seeing all the data, and by using ML, we are interpreting the results, saying that the same, it is a bowl with the bananas, lemons, and peaches, and etc. So this is how the computer vision will work. So instead of brain, here we are using the deep learning techniques. This is how. When it comes to the time series forecasting, so there are some of the scenarios. Time series forecasting is nothing but what to say. uh, there are the scenarios that that data will follow completely that time. Okay, so we'll let you know a small example. Let's take air passengers, like uh let's air passengers, nothing but what you say, uh let's take aeroplane. Okay, the aeroplane having the 252 seats, and at the time of January, the of course the strength of the air passengers was quite low. Okay, but whereas in the month of April, the air passengers was quite high. Okay, how will we getting to know that? This is completely depends upon the time. Whereas in the month of January, no one goes off. but where in the month of December, most of the employees will go for tours and etc. etc. For that reason, so there will be quite passengers would be high. So if we know this before, if you know this before a year or 2 years, something like that, so we can predict the passengers, how much passengers will come, and so that what would be our capacity, how can we increase this capacity in such a way that so we can go for our enhancements and we can go for our future case in such a way that we can have the same profits. This is where we'll be using the time series forecasting. Let's take the stock market predictions and what you say, marketing forecasting. This all comes under the time series forecasting only. Why? Because this all follow the time. So market basket optimization, it is also one of the technique. When it comes to market basket optimization, let's take if you go to any e-commerce like Amazon or Flipkart, what it may be, if you are trying to buy any product like mobile, okay, if you are trying to buy any uh, product like mobile, obviously it will recommend you the pouch, screen guard, and also something related to mobile. Okay, this is simple example for the market basket optimization. Like if you're trying to buy the product like something uh, what you say, uh, if you type something like I need the trimmer, I want the trimmer, so it will recommend you the different types of trimmers. Okay, this is what market basket optimization. Like here we're trying to find out the customer pattern, how the customer was thinking. So based upon the customer pattern, based upon the customer purchasing pattern, and if you know how the customer was uh, uh, purchasing, if you predict how the customer was purchasing something like that, so based upon that we can increase our sales. That is what we are doing by using the market basket optimization. So here we are trying to find out the customer purchasing prediction by using our ML and AI. So in generally, this market basket optimization will be using in the e-commerce platforms. So to recommend means to suggest something and to the existing product. Just now I told you for mobile, they'll be suggesting the watch and the screen or something, and also the headphones, earphones, something like that. It is a very good example for the market basket optimization. And in real time scenarios, where in the abroad states like US, like in generally they will be going to the market. So like if there any uh, what is a milk bottle, besides the milk bottle there would be some beer bottle. Of course, there the men used to have that regularly. Okay, so this is how they are uh, what is the this is how the customer was purchasing. Based upon the purchasing patterns, the market standards also need to be changed, and that we'll be doing by using ML and AI here. And recommendation system is also one of the tool. So if you go to any YouTube, okay, if you are going to watch horror movies, and it will recommend you some of the similar movies like horror movies. So this is also will be using by ML and AI. So this is also comes under the recommender system, and this is one of the tool in the artificial intelligence. And these are all the topics that we'll be going to cover, which comes under like machine learning, deep learning, natural language processing, time series forecasting, market basket optimization. Yeah, these are some topics, and other than these topics, we'll be also covering the, if everything goes fine, we'll be trying to have the resume preparation and mock interviews. And in real time scenarios, I can see that the technology is growing very rapidly and it's evolving very rapidly. Based upon the technologies, and we'll be going to have some of the extra content also, and which I was provided in the what you say summary of the complete notes. And sorry, So these all are the interview questions. We have all the plan notes and everything. So the interview questions which requires for the NLP and the data science, something like that. And we do have the these also comes at the real time interview questions. And this is our course outline, whereas the course outline would be having everything. So what are the topics that we'll be going to cover in our class and etc. So this is our complete course. So we'll be going to how what are the things that we'll be going to cover, like Python programming and libraries and fundamentals of programming, EDA. Everything was attached in the summary uh, data science course outline. I think the team has been provided already, so I need not to say. And also we'll be also having the course outline, and whereas the course outline is nothing but a high-end overview. So we'll be trying to learn everything. So wherein that we'll be trying to cover the topics which includes like uh, programming, mathematics, data wrangling and visualization, machine learning, deep learning, NLP, time series forecasting, machine learning, deep learning, case studies which includes the real-time projects, sample interview question and answers, mock interviews, and resume preparations, and bonus modules if time permits, something like that. Yeah. And team, this is all. And we too have real-time projects. You no need to worry, like face recognition, rose image detection, and uh, I don't want to reveal the projects names, but we have the real-time projects and everything in hand. So any questions finally?
Hello.
Yeah, please go on.
Yeah. In the course, what is do we course?
Pardon?
What tools? What is do
Two,
we co-
I didn't get you. Pardon? What? Tools.
tools? Yeah.
Yeah, just now at let me show. So just now I told you that here we are using the Python as a tool for solving any data science problem statement. Okay. And also, if possible, we'll be also going to cover the fundamentals of R in the very last. And if you want to know about the uh, databases, like we'll be going to have the SQL. Okay. These are our basic programming language, query language that we'll be going to cover. And other than this, we'll be also, I think is answer is fine for you. Hello.
Yes.
So yeah. So when you are saying tools, nothing but so in most of the time in the real time scenarios, we'll be using the Python as a tool for solving any data science problem statements. As I mentioned that, so these are the libraries which we have: NumPy, Pandas, MATLAB, Seaborn, Scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and Keras. So we are having these libraries in Python. Okay, na? And team, any questions? And if you're having any doubts now, please help to raise your voice so that then only it would be good. Like if you are thinking in your inner voice and if you're not expressing means it is not. And we too have some of the just I want to show you whether it's not. The thing is that we are having good number of projects, but like so these are the real-time projects and PPTs. Just I want to show you this completely deep learning related things, and we are having very good content that can assure that. One thing I would be expecting from your side is that so you need to have thorough practice. Okay. Yeah, please go on.
Sir, I have one doubt.
Yeah.
Sir, actually, we are actually I'm aware from the Python, like basics only I know about. But
Mhm.
Python is the large subject, right, sir?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
how we can enter in the data science, and we don't know the basics and how we can start the career in this data science, sir. Is there any possible to start the career?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the thing is that one thing I say that you don't need to be very good coder. Okay. Just you
Okay.
need to have at least basic idea. So
Yes, sir. I know the
in
basic ideas.
generally, I used to give one example. The example would be like if you know how to fly the kite. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So by having the thread, you'll be doing a sort of activity, and in such a way that the kite will be going high and high and high. Okay. So in similarly, if you are good with the Python, okay, how good with your Python, you can do more and more miracles. In startingly, you are not a very code expert. Once you are familiar with the project, then you can get to know that how much I can learn Python, and how means how can I go for how extent I can go for Python. Okay, na? So generally, what we will let you know, like learn the don't learn in everyone I can suggest only don't go beyond. Okay, learn how much it is required. Once you are done from your end, then you can go for any high ends. I got you, I think so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
In this data science, we can learn as like a skill also, sir. Skill tools also we are using in data science.
Yeah, why SQL means like we won't store our most of the time we won't store our data in the local machines. Like local machines having some limitations like 256 GB and something like that. If there is a heavy amount of data now, at that time we used to have the data in our SQL databases. Okay, so at the time of to extract the data, to import the data, obviously we'll be using databases. So that obviously we need to have some query language. For the query language, we will be starting the SQL.
In Python only, you are doing the like real-time process, right?
Pardon?
In Python, Python tool only, we are using the processor. We are doing the real-time process.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so we'll be learning Python, if possible, basics of R, and obviously SQL. Okay. So of course, once you enter into the project now, you'll be getting to know everything. And anything.
Yeah, nothing is.
So just I want to give a small. So this is one of the real-time project. I think it would be helpful for you. Let me play the video. So from the video, we are trying to see here. Let me pause it for some time. So from the video, what we are doing exactly, so it's like a facial recognition and emotion detection. Okay, let's take, if you see here one, so I don't know the, to be frank, I don't know the person name here. Simply I train my model in such a way. Of course, this is a one-shot learning. By having one-shot learning, I am labeled this person as one and saying that this person was neutral. Similarly, this is a 13. I labeled this person, I named this person as a 13 and saying the neutral. This is one of the real-time project. So what this project was, so in a, if you go to any baby schools like preschools, of course, in real-time scenarios, what is happening now? Most of the parents are like job going, so they are unable to monitor their children's. For that, we build one of the application. Whereas in applications, we are monitoring the children's and saying whether the his emotion is a neutral or happy or something like that. So neutral, and if there any angry, something happy, he is happy, and something like that. So this is one of the projects saying that real-time project. Is the person happy or something like happy or what you say, neutral or something like that? The same thing. So like that, we have a number of projects. So nothing more that I need very good support from your guys. Then only we can, or I can tell more and more subject. So beyond our course also. Yeah, these are something about my. So these are something about the demo session, and yeah, are there any questions?
So we are having one
So
more
we're in
demo.
the yeah. No, this is the demo, and from tomorrow onwards, like the team will be coming with the scenario, and from tomorrow onwards, we'll be going to start the classes. And if you want, if you guys want one more demo, I can have, not a issue, but if possible, as per the team, so we'll be going with the classes from tomorrow onwards, and the very first class would be Python tutorials.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. And where in this demo, I try to cover all the topics which I will be going to thought in future, and how data science was impactful in your uh, future, and how data science will be using, and who can learn the data science, what are the profits of the data science, what are the impact of data science, what are the topics that we'll be going to cover in the data science. So that I was taught here. We're in the data science session, and the team will be coming with the team will approach you and saying the further class announcements, and mostly if everything goes fine, so where in the next class onwards we'll be going to have the Python tutorials, and we'll be going to start the Python classes, how to set up the Python and how to install the Anaconda environment in our local machine and something like that, and how to install the packages. So this is how we'll be going to start all the classes in planning. Yeah. And finally, thank you everyone. And if you are having any doubt, uh, you can directly approach me or the team. And if possible, we can also take the, like if the team, if the all members are available in a single place, we can go for the offline classes also. Where in the offline class also, we can have very good explanation. Okay. So yeah, this is something about the data science demo session. And thank you team. Looking forward. and we'll be going to start Python from next class onwards. Thank you.